sitting here in limbo, but I know it won't be long.
My name is Francis. I'm involved with Springfield Health Disparity Project, and also I'm starting my own project, Stopping It Before It Starts. A little bit about, I grew up in Springfield from a child. I didn't follow the right roads, and I ended up having a terrible record. But once I realized that life is more important than death, I put a change in my life. And the CORI bill will be very helpful to me at some time in my life because of the fact that I'm trying to move on. I go to college. I'll be going to college in September, and I want to open up my own business, to help the community, and I want to give back to the community. So in order for me to do that, I need to have certain things on my record sealed. I always wanted to be a nurse when I was growing up, but unfortunately I got involved with drugs, which led me to commit a lot of crimes. And in order to be a nurse, you gotta be accountable and responsible. For one thing, it stops you because nobody wants to put trust in you. As soon as they see you committed a felony or something, they don't want to give you a chance. And so what ends up happening, you end up going back out on the street and trying to survive. And it also, makes everybody get on welfare or try to get SSI. Now, people will come forth and try to change their life because now they're given a chance.
My name is Gilberto Rolon. I volunteer work for Neighbors to Neighbors. Talking about the CORI, I have personal experience on the CORI, and the CORI is something that will help individuals like myself who have problems in the past. Like we all have made our mistakes, some in a certain amount of extent, and the other small issues. It will help a great deal opening doors for those who have rehabilitated themselves, like myself, who enrolled in many programs, participated in different type of groups, Neighbors to Neighbors, Tapestry, or NAs or AA programs. And like myself, I attended college, graduated. I have my degree in advanced manufacturing, but because the felonies and the questions in the application, if I ever have committed a crime, doors been closed. I have the perfect qualifications, and I'm sure all the people who've been going through the same problems like me have the perfect qualifications, skills, very professional, dedicated to their family. But because of that question, and we don't want to lie, we want to be honest. That's one of the things that I practice in my life today, honesty. The doors are shut.
My name is Ramos. I'm here as a representative for Springfield Health Disparities Project. One of the important things that I want to highlight about the CORI reform is the important factors of it is that it changes a lot of things for many people here in the state of Massachusetts. It's really giving a second chance to a lot of people who have earned and deserve a second chance to be a productive member of society. It changes the amount of time that you had to wait for your records to be sealed. In the past, it used to be 15 years for a felony and 10 years for a misdemeanor. Now with the CORI reform, that changes down to 10 years for a felony and 5 years for a misdemeanor. One of the important factors of it also is the fact that it no longer is legal to ask the question on an application of whether or not you've been ever convicted of a felony. That question now becomes illegal. Of course, the employees will have the opportunity to ask that at a interview. But it really, by doing that, you're giving a lot of people a better chance of finding employment. Because in the past, just that question alone is the reason for the employer to say, we're not going to interview this person, we're not going to call them back. So that's really helpful. And one of the misconceptions that I want to clear up that a lot of people have about CORI reform is the fact that, it's being soft on crime. I think that Massachusetts is tough on crime, but this CORI reform, we're really being tough on crime prevention, in my opinion. And it doesn't include the sex offenders, and it doesn't include murder convictions. Those are things that people are still going to have to carry with them if they were an offender. But it does help a lot of people who have been convicted of something, 20 years ago, and it still comes back to haunt them, and they can't find proper employment or place to live. So it's a very important piece of legislation, and I think that our legislators did a really good job of defining who is going to be affected by CORI reform and who's going to help. And right now, it is in conference committee. It did pass the state house. It did pass the Senate. So it's in conference committee, and it's due to come out of conference in July 31st, at which time the governor will have a short amount of time to sign it into law. And as you heard before, he's already given us his word that he is going to sign that into law. He's very supportive of the bill. Now, another way of looking at CORI reform is the fact that it really gives an employer an opportunity to be more responsible about who they're going to be choosing for employment. It makes them responsible in determining has this person been rehabilitated, as opposed to, excluding everyone that has a CORI altogether. So it really makes the employer make that determination, and it's going to help a lot of people find employment. One of the questions that is still unanswered about the CORI reform is when it actually begins. Some people have argued that CORI should begin the day that they step out of the prison. Others have argued that it should start the day after they complete their probation. So that's something that is still in the conference committee, and we look forward to getting a good decision from the final bill.
A lot of kids out there are suffering because their parents can't get a job because they have a criminal record. So then they got to go in welfare. So is the welfare system made for us? Because majority of people of color are the one in the prison system. So is the welfare made for us? Because seems to me that's what it is. And instead of they gonna help us, they started putting us in the dump, and we need to come out of that. So what is it?
Right.
They got the CORI there. They got the CORI. They got your probation. How much time can one person deal with? They done did 10 years, maybe 5 years in prison, 5 more years of probation, 10 more years of CORI. How much time there? If a kid go to jail at 16 and stay in there till they're 20, they got the probation time, the CORI filling time. What good is it life to him? Everybody make a mistake. Nobody perfect. My name is Agin, and I'm the director of Universal Community Voices, Eliminating Disparity, also Springfield Health Disparity Project. We put in on this CORI Independence Day on June the 30th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Blount Park at 2460 Roosevelt Avenue, Springfield, Massachusetts. And my phone number is 413-654-2888. We celebrating CORI Day because we have a lot of people. The important part about it, to celebrate the attainment and founding of the founding freedom. We provide service by making available to the community people, lawyer and law students, to help the process on applying to seal their record. So that day is for everybody in surrounding area and community. If you have a criminal record and you want to process your application, you come out that day, and we have a lawyer that's going to be there to process, to help you fill your application, to try to get your CORI sealed. It depends on what's on there. So if you have a copy of your CORI record with you, bring that along with an ID, and we be able to help you on that day.
I can't say what life will show me, but I know what I've seen. I can't say